Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. Now this is a Frontline battle. This took place on the 7th of May and it's being played by Funfizzer, and he's in the GW Tiger P, the tier 8 German SPG. Here we go, yep, and he's located on grid square C on the attacking team. And you can see Funfizzer has 2 marks of excellence on his barrel, so he's an extremely competent player when it comes to the GW Tiger P, which is not everybody's favourite Arty. It's very slow, very cumbersome. A lot of people find it a bit of a pain, but I don't know. Funfizzer seems to like it a lot. Okay, so there's 3 grid squares that they start attacking on, A, B and C, and C is actually probably one of the more difficult ones to attack on. And the fighter planes are going in, and one of them's been hit already, always is, and he crashes into the ground. Here he comes. Splat. Okay, battle has started, and Funfizzer is currently a private. So he's starting the battle as a private. He's moving to his firing position. He's not going to say where he is. This is probably the most difficult grid square to start on, actually. Most of the other ones are fairly easy. But grid square C does have fairly good advantages for the enemy if they choose to push and occupy the cap at C. So long as they can control that cap area, they can prevent anybody from actually moving up. Okay, right, now Funfizzer's now looking for the enemy to shoot at, and he's got a T-44FL. Round out? No, a bit late, but it still does 252 hit points to splash and a long stun on that T-44. He's in the cap. It does look to me like the enemy is employing the tactics of try and occupy and dominate. There's a T-26E5 Patriot.
Zone B contested.
It looks like the attackers are managing to get into grid square, into the cap at B already. There's that T-44FL. FL standing for Frontline. You may notice actually some of the tanks were actually in Russian nomenclature, and so they said FL but with Cyrillic letters. Of course, if you're a Russian speaker, then you would know that straight away by seeing it. Now, what Funfizzer is doing here is actually quite useful. He's actually engaging tanks on a different grid square. Now, I've actually done this as well when I've played Arty, and it's actually very, very useful if you're firing on enemy tanks in the other grid squares if they are vulnerable. Now, that IS-3 is behind the rock, so he's not going to be able to get that. He's looking around for another target. There's a T-32FL. Round out on T-32. Well, it was close. 352 hit points. 351 actually. And he has picked up some stun assists as well. There's the Scorpion G on this particular grid. So it's a fairly long reload on the GW Tiger P, 37.2 seconds, and that's a long time to wait between shells. I must admit though, when I did my stint on Arty, I actually took the M40, M43 with the 8-inch howitzer on, and I was very successful. So it does work actually, even with a long reload, because you can really damage the enemy. Round out on the Scorpion. Oh, wipes him out. 523 hit points. Beautiful shot right into the front of him. No chance of him surviving that. He's sent back to the garage to get a new tank. And he's going for the next Scorpion. Scorpion does seem to be a favoured tank amongst the defenders in this game. And also the T-44 is very well suited to this game as well. I found its mobility is much better than T-32. But then the T-44 is a medium and the T-32 is a heavy. Now He's too close to get at that target, but he can hit that T-44. Round out. No. I think that went long. Scorpion G hiding behind the rock. That's not going to be any use. Now the enemy are actually trying to dominate the cap area, so they're doing exactly what our team did to us last night, and they effectively forced us to take drastic measures to actually attack them from the sides, but it was still very, very difficult to force them out the area. You have to go up on those heights to actually shoot down on them to prevent them occupying, but he can take that T-32 out, lining up the shot, and there he is, round out. And he splashes him to death for 21 hit points, and he gets promoted to sergeant. Okay, he's still got a long reload. That T-32 is just way too close for him to shoot at. He can't arc the shell in. There's a Scorpion off to the right as well. Can he get a shot to that T-32? Not really.
Our reinforcements have arrived.
Okay, T-32 here, who's also looks to be a reinforcement coming back. Probably one of the ones that was just killed. Lining up the shot and round out. It landed right in front of him, but doesn't appear... Well, we can't tell how much damage it did because he's unspotted. That Scorpion is just popping out every now and then to make a shot and then popping back in again. But we've got 20 seconds for the reload to occur. Now they're forcing the enemy back from the cap, but these are the reinforcements coming in, I think. Scorpion make the bigger splash, really. Okay, he's loaded, ready to go, lining up the shot, and there, round out. Oh, just behind him, 295. The T-44 ran into the back of the Scorpion. He wasn't watching where he was going, so he just kept on driving straight in. Oh, and the ELCs, now they are a real problem on this map because I've actually gone in and assassinated Arty very, very easily with those ELCs. That was an Arty strike. Or was it an airstrike? Oh, it was an airstrike. Okay, we've got Scorpion G. Trying to work a shot there. We're loaded. Waiting for him to go back a bit. He does. Oh, and the shell goes long, but it's still 197 hit points and a big stun, which is going to put him off. Yeah, he's having to think about his position.
Zone E contested.
We still haven't managed to capture Zone C, but they've captured Zone B, and they're almost completed on Zone A as well. So they are starting to move up. Okay, we've got an ISU 152. Get it right. Working out where it's going to be. And there. Round up. Nice! Direct hit. 422. Beautiful. Almost got it. Almost got it. Okay, so we've got some more time now on the game. They've captured A. They captured B. They've now captured C.
You captured Zone C. Air support incoming.
Okay, so now they can move up. Right, going after this T-26C5, which is retreating now. I think he has to get out the area, otherwise he's going to get airstriked, and he knows it. Line him up. There's an airstrike on the way in. Oh, splashes him. And he gets hit by the airstrike. Unfortunately, we're not going to be reloaded in time to do anything about it. And Funfizzer is going to have to start moving up now because otherwise the enemy will get out of range. So the one thing that can happen on this battlefield, arties that previously had unlimited range of the battlefield will now find that their range is limited because they're firing over a much longer distance. He might need to move a long way forward actually, but he's going to go after that T-26C5 again. He's on low health. Round out. Oh! taken out before the before he could his shell could get there, and I think that may have been because he was still in the zone when he was told to leave. If you stay in the zone past the point at which you've been told to leave, you get airstrikes on you, and they're pretty accurate as well. So if you don't vacate the zone, you will get killed. Now he's got a fairly long way forward to move. Doesn't have to worry about the T-44 FL. That one will have left the zone. That's just an unspotted tank. Yeah, the T-44 FL is now out the zone, so he's disappeared from this zone. Now he's going into the replenishment, and he's just going to resupply his shells, and he's loaded completely premium. And you might as well on this game, because it does make sense to have premium rounds just to get the extra damage, the extra large splash area. Fires a quick round at that T-44, but he's going to have to move on because he needs to get much closer to the enemy, the next zone.
Our reinforcements have arrived.
Okay, more tanks have arrived. That's the tanks that were killed. And that means that our team in Zone D are now capping. Right, T-32. Almost loaded. Round out. Yes. Beautiful direct hit. 400 hit points. That promotes him to lieutenant. I say lieutenant. Obviously, that's my naval background coming in there. Of course, it's lieutenant in the army. Lieutenant if you're in the navy. Okay, we've got an IS-3 there. That's a nice target. He's sitting up there, thinks he's nice and safe behind that rock. Round out. Long distance for the shot to travel. Lovely direct hit. Beautiful. He's racked up 3,940 hit points of actual damage so far, and 2,669 of stun assist. So there's great potential in this battle to do huge sums of damage. In fact, I've gone well over 5,000 hit points of damage during these battles. And it does actually pay to have a fast-moving, rapidly firing Arty, such as the Lorraine 15551, because obviously that 155mm will reload quicker, and the Lorraine on the 40-ton chassis on the Lorraine will move quicker through the battlefield, so you can reposition. Oh, right onto the engine deck! 1,036 hit points on that T-44. That was a beautiful strike there. He was moving backwards and forwards, so I didn't know if he was actually going to get a hit or all, but it landed right on the engine deck. Okay, won't worry about this drop. Whoa! Now he does need to think about where he's going to drive now, because that rock face might actually hinge his it might hinder his firing. There's that T-44 FL again. That would be an easy kill. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Got him. We had you. Now, according to my mods, it's actually showing that he's got a reload of 37.17 seconds, but he's almost reloaded. I think he's going to go for that Scorpion. It's a difficult shot, but it's worth it. Round out. Oh, he did! He hit him! He didn't square! Yes, he lost a lot of hit points, and he's been promoted to captain. The more damage you do in Frontline, the more you get promoted, the further up the table you move, and that helps moving up the tiers as well. And the great thing about playing Arty in Frontline is that you're rarely going to get killed. Only if the enemy actually does send a scout out to try and find you. They're really not going to look that often. And that T-44 is badly wounded, so this shot might actually put him out the game for a little while. It's a difficult shot though. Is he going to go for that T-26? There he is, round out. Well, splashed in for 179. And they've now got Zone F, which means they've capped out on Zone F. They're now going after the objectives. Now, he was seen there, and I think he was seen by the T-44 FL. His sixth sense went off. So he needs to think carefully about where he's going to position himself. That's what I was saying about this rock face might actually hinder you, the one on the right. But you also need to think about protecting yourself from enemy fire, because if they see you, they know there's an Arty in play, they might actually try to take you out. They know that we can act as very helpful fire support. Now he wants to get a splash kill on that T-44. Oh, it fell short!
Reinforcements have arrived.
Now they've got some more reinforcements. I think that's the Wizzy 132 just coming in now. Right, they're now going after the objectives. You can see an objective in the distance there. It's the gun emplacement Mark 5. Unfortunately, we can't damage them from the front because they've got thick armour on the front. That was an airstrike going in on the 110. Loaded. Round out straight away. Oh, we got him! Wiped him out. 309 hit points. Took the 110 out of the game completely. Now, it's at points like this, actually, it can be quite useful to actually start helping the team in the other zones alongside yours. Because if he was to do that, then there's a good chance that they might be able to start going after the objectives, the gun emplacements. Now, he's looking for the targets. There's a guard there, and a T-32, right. There's also a T-44 to the left. Going after the Scorpion. In a good sniper position up there. Oh, 371 hit points of splash. Decent shot there. Okay, they've got Zone E now. That was the missing one. I was hoping that you might be able to help those guys in E to complete their capture, and then of course that adds more time to the game and allows them to get to the objectives.
We have destroyed objective 2.
Okay, Striv. Easy target because they have to stay still in order to shoot. There he is. He's taking up a firing position now, that Striv. Now would be the time to hit him. Oh, he's going after the guard instead, though. But he got the guard. This is the other aspect of Frontline. If you're an Arty, you will have to keep moving quite a lot during the battle. So it's move and shoot, move and shoot. Okay, it's loaded. Look for a target. T-26E5. Moving rather rapidly. Now you could probably hit that objective 4 on the side. Dialed in on the 252U, round out. Direct hit, right into the side. 421. Moving ahead again. It's getting closer and closer to the objectives. In fact, one of his platoon mates is actually behind the objectives now. They're attacking Objective 4. They've killed Objective 2. The thing is that from his current position, he would be able to attack Objective 4 and Objective 3 now. He can attack both of them and hit the sides, and the sides are vulnerable. It's the front you can't hit. Okay, 252, and he splashes in for 174. Now, one of my suggestions would be if you are in a game like this, when you do move forward, start hitting the objectives from as far back as you can, but try to lay the shell into the sides of the objective, not the front. Okay, he's going for the resupply because he's only got 2 rounds left and he needs those shells. Okay, resupply underway.
Our general has entered the field.
Okay, he's loaded 15 rounds. And somebody has actually been promoted to general. They must have been doing a lot of damage. Okay, now he can start firing on the objectives, but he's still aiming for tanks. There's an LTB, he's out the game.
Objective 3. Attack the last one.
So only one more objective's got to be destroyed.
Objective 4 reached.
Looks like everybody's going after Objective 4. In fact, most of the enemy team are as well, and he's been spotted. Not the front. Don't aim for the front. This is very high armor on the front, but very weak armor on the sides and the rear. Going for the T-44L. 406 hit points, and he's been promoted to Major.
Main objectives have been destroyed. Well done.
And that was victory. Apparently they managed to destroy at least 3 of the 5 objectives, or was it all 5 objectives? Not quite absolutely sure there, but because 5 still appears to be in one piece, but maybe they did actually get them all. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. Well, this is the amazing sight that greets you. Look at the sheer number of tanks that were actually attacked during that battle. Huge number of the enemy were attacked, and this is what I was saying about Cyrillic letters. That's T44FL. Those are the Cyrillic letters F and L. Yes, he managed to get 5 kills during that battle. Did 8,127 hit points of damage. Let's have a look at the team scores overall. Well, he doesn't actually appear very high on that table. In fact, he's well down the table. So far down that he doesn't actually show on this one at all. Let's have a look. Nope, not showing there at all, which is rather strange. Oh well, not showing on that report. But let's have a look at the detail report and see exactly where we stand. Well, fired 27 rounds during that battle, got 11 direct hits, 11 penetrations and 13 splash. Did damage of 8,127 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 21 of the enemy and killed 5 of them, and did 3,286 hit points of stun damage off 19 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 37,500 credits, but because he used a lot of premium ammo, he also used consumables, chocolate, he actually ended up with a loss of 102,500 credits. he received 3,249 XP, and he actually received in total 6,498. Not sure why that's different from that. Maybe there's an objective bonus in there as well, which we're not seeing. But still, all the same, he had a lot of fun during that battle, and just showed that when you're playing Arty on this particular game on Frontline, it actually can be quite beneficial, because you get to shoot at an awful lot of targets and have a serious effect upon your team's ability to move forward. So if you can put the shots in the right place, it really does make a difference. And I had a tremendous amount of fun. Admittedly, most of the shots I was firing when I played Frontline with Arty, I was actually on the defending team, not the attacking team. So I was rather enjoying my ability to stop the enemy moving forward by stunning them. And if they did get into a cap, I kept resetting their cap by hitting the guys, because when they get into the cap, you might notice they tend to group together for some reason, maybe for security, or they need a hug or something. But it's very funny because you can actually hit more than one at once when they do group together. I think it's they're seeking shelter within the cap, and of course they all go to the same shelter point, but you shouldn't do that. You should actually stay apart, because if you stay apart, then Arty can't get all of you at the same time. But anyway, if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.